Well, let's get more on England and go to their base now in Erfurt and speak to our chief reporter, Rob Dorsett. Rob, very good evening to you. Quite the exertion last night. They've earned a bit of chill-out time today, England.
Yeah, absolutely, Rob, and I don't think we should overlook that. It's really important for England's players now, their rest and recovery, because it's a 3-day turnaround, which is really, really quick, and that's on the back of another 3-day turnaround after the quarter-final as well. And then England, before that, had two lots of extra time, didn't they, in the quarter-final and the last 16. So is the priority for Gareth Southgate and the FA medical team is to get these players recovered and get them ready to train again and get them ready to go again in a high-intensity major tournament final in Berlin on Sunday. So yes, they haven't just been lying around in their beds today. They've been in the hydrotherapy centre. They've been having some massages. They've been having some calculations done on where their body exactly is at after all of the exertions of the last 24 hours or so. And so it's actually only 2 days worth of training, tomorrow and Saturday, that Gareth Southgate has got to really get this team ready on the pitch tactically to prepare for basically the team that's been the best, by far and away the best for me, in this tournament so far. That's Spain, who've won every single game in the tournament so far, the only team to have done that. So yes, rest and recovery very important today. Tactical, formation, preparation on the pitch, away from the cameras, by the way. Closed training session, that begins tomorrow.
You talk about tactical decisions and tactical work for Gareth Southgate and his players to do between now and Sunday. What about the team he might pick? Will he be tempted by Luke Shaw? Will he stick by Harry Kane, despite the fact he's not at his best?
I don't think there'll be many changes. I think, if anything, it'll be tweaks, but I don't think Gareth Southgate wants to change it too much, but that may depend on medical reports. It certainly will when it comes to Luke Shaw, because he played 42 minutes in the quarter-final, which was more than he was supposed to, because England went to extra time, of course, and then he got 45 minutes, the second half, yesterday in Dortmund in that semi-final. So where is he at? Bear in mind, before those two games, he hadn't played any football at all since the middle of February. Now, if he was in his club, if he was at Manchester United now, they would have given him 15 minutes to ease him back in. They then probably would have rested him and assessed him a little bit. Then maybe given him half an hour. Then maybe given him an hour and then assessed it. If there was any niggles elsewhere, they would have brought him back off the intensity. England haven't been able to do that. They've had to throw him in from the start with 3-day recoveries in between. So is Luke Shaw fit and ready to start, having played basically 2 halves of football in the space of 4 days? I don't know. Only the England medical reports will tell us, and only Gareth Southgate will be able to make that decision. I think it's a straight toss-up again between Luke Shaw and Kieran Trippier at left wing-back. But look, the discussion over Harry Kane is, I understand why it's happening, but it's largely irrelevant. He will start for England in this final, Harry Kane, but I doubt he will finish the game. He's only managed to finish 2 of England's 6 matches at the tournament so far, because I've been telling everybody, and I think it's been obvious for everybody to see, that he's not quite fit, he's not right. After that back injury that cost him the final month or so of the Bundesliga season with Bayern Munich. But he will start. The question mark now is it Ollie Watkins or Ivan Toney who comes on for him at some stage in the latter stages, because both of them have been brilliant when they have come on, and both of them have made different sorts of impacts.
What about Spain then? Certain players back from suspension for the final. What about the fitness of Alvaro Morata?
Yeah, we all saw it, didn't we, on social media? Bizarre incident involving Alvaro Morata, where an official who was running up towards him and the rest of the Spain squad as they were celebrating their victory in the semi-final win over France, collided with him, took him out, hurt his knee, and then Alvaro Morata looked to be in quite a lot of pain. Well, look, he's been training today. He's been playing some golf as well, but looking by some of the photos that have come out of the Spain camp today. So he's relaxed, he's fine, he's good to go. And with no suspension problems as well, it looks like Spain have a clean bill of health, a full squad to pick from to face England, and of course they've had a day more to prepare. So again, that is my concern more than anything else for this final match. I think there's a real momentum behind England right now and a belief that they can win it, but physically, can they go again just 4 days after that huge semi-final exertion in Dortmund against the Netherlands? Can they go and beat the best team in the tournament in the final in Berlin? It's set up beautifully, and I don't think England will have a better chance.
You spoke about the momentum there, Rob. I think it's fair to say that the players were quite in tune with the criticism that they got in the early part of the tournament. Do you get the sense that the squad are now aware of a real change in tone as we head towards the final?
That's a good question. I think the players have always known that there is a huge support for them in the body of the country. There's a vocal group of supporters and, dare we say, media and pundits who will criticise them. And I know that when Alan Shearer and Gary Lineker criticised Harry Kane and Gareth Southgate in particular, they heard that, they felt it was almost a betrayal of what former England players should do. There's almost an underwritten rule where you don't go for your own because you've been there and experienced it yourself. And that's what Harry Kane came out and said, wasn't it? But I think they know that they didn't play well in the early part of the tournament. They were saying the right things and saying, look, we're top of the group, we're unbeaten, we're getting better, which was all kind of true, but they knew what we were saying was true as well, which is that they'd just been really poor in the first 3 or 4 games of the tournament. But you can't say that about England in Dortmund last night. They were outstanding. They were the better side by a mile. They should have won the game more comfortably. Phil Foden was absolutely outstanding and had a great effort that hit the post and one that was cleared off the line as well. Yes, they had a very fortunate penalty that Harry Kane scored, but I think the belief has always been there amongst this England squad, and the sense I get is that the pressure's off them now. Gareth Southgate said they felt encumbered early on in the tournament. There was a weight on their shoulders. Well, they've now, when they got to a semi-final, I think the pressure was off. They said, well, look, anything we do from here is a bonus after the pretty poor state we were in at the start of the tournament. They started to relax. They started to play more, not gung-ho football, but certainly more attacking and adventurous football than we've seen from them at any other stage in the earlier part of the tournament. I'd expect them to do the same again and take the game to Spain on Sunday. And what Gary Neville said is about right, isn't it? I think he's got it spot on, in actual fact. England have stumbled their way with some really good fortune to this point in the tournament, but they played really well in the semi-final. And you just kind of get a feeling that it's different this time than it was 3 years ago at Wembley when they lost to Italy on penalties. I get that feeling around the camp. I think the belief in the England squad has turned to expectation. I think they have incredible confidence that they can go and win this now, which maybe wasn't there 3 years ago. And that sets it up absolutely beautifully for a barnstorming game in Berlin on Sunday night.